white is tough to keep clean, but as far as like sweat purposes, I feel like black almost might be worse. Because you get like the salt.
The salt deposits.
At least like when I wear like a black Nike hat in the gym, because you and I, we work out, we're strong.
Yeah, we lifted today together.
Yeah.
And
Tyler's trying to look like the Hulk.
Yeah, I'm looking like the Hulk. If there's anything that's nice about this shirt, it makes my pecs pop. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if it's more tailored.
I don't know if it is. It kind of feels like it is. I asked Austin, I'm like, what size should I get? He's like, well, I would get your normal size. And for me, my sizes are like, you never know if I'm a medium or if I'm a small. Sometimes I'll buy a small and it'll be like literally a kid's small. And then sometimes I'll buy a medium and it'll be like I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag. So I never knew. But this fits nice for sure. But we lifted today. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, everything he makes looks good on me. So, but anyways, you want to just hop right into the NFL?
I mean, let's get into it. Week 17, we got a lot of different scenarios we got to discuss. Some teams on the bubble of making the playoffs. Yep. We got another situation in the NFC, right? The Chiefs locked up the number 1 seed in the AFC. But we got the Packers right now who hold the overall number 1 seed. Still up for grabs. Depends what happens on Sunday. The Seahawks could potentially get it. I think that's it because I think that the Packers own a head-to-head tiebreaker against the Saints.
Yeah.
So I think the Saints are out. So between the Packers and the Seahawks.
Which, if you watch the No Look podcast, you know that the Seahawks are by far Austin's kryptonite.
Fucking hate him.
He's never liked the Packers or the Seahawks. I think you said, didn't you say it in Key West, or you said it sometime when we were on the podcast where, like, they're always in the conversation with the Packers in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're not divisional rivals or anything of that nature, and this is kind of a newfound hatred, to a team. But there's like 2 NFC Championship games. Aaron Rodgers should have 3 Super Bowls right now. I mean, obviously the Fail Mary, right, ties into it. But one of those games, the botched fumble by I think but whoever that Bostic tight end was.
It's just crazy how you love DK Metcalf so much.
I do love me some DK.
And you hate the Seahawks so much. It's like he roots for DK throughout the whole entire year, but he wants the Seahawks to be 1-11. Just not going to happen.
DK's a swag god. I got him and Devontae Adams, my 2 favorite NFL players. But, I like Russell Wilson.
Your favorite across the board?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little biased to Devontae just because he's on the Packers, the best team in the NFL right now.
Can you guess who mine is?
Favorite player?
Yeah.
Not Derek Carr.
Definitely not Derek Carr.
Josh Jacobs, maybe?
No. Definitely. I mean, we were talking about him before, Alvin Kamara.
He's the last guy on the team still in that picture.
Yeah,
Alvin Kamara, right.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara is definitely my favorite.
So
he's swaggy as F, too.
He is. He's got the drip.
He's got the gold teeth in the game. That's what I love most about him. He's just rocking grills in the game and has like 6 necklaces on looking like Quavo Huncho.
I mean, DK's got the cross earring in.
Yeah, but so does every TikToker these days, so.
Well, back to the NFL talk here. I told you, Tyler, I said this is my ultimate fuckboy outfit.
Yeah.
And got the beanie propped up above the ears, the earring, and got the off-whites on. Just flex for a little bit.
Oh.
Kept the zip tie on.
He didn't want anybody to steal him.
Listen, you can never be too careful, especially coming in here and saying games.
Yeah.
9,000 square feet. There's a lot of places that it could go missing.
9,000 square feet at Insane Games. Anyways, week 17. I got my sheet ready. Week 17. I mean, we could do the pick'ems, the over-unders or whatever. Actually, they don't even have over-unders. No spreads. Even though your boy likes spreading. Cream cheese on my bagel.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. First game we got on the list, Miami at Buffalo. Big game for both of them.
Yeah, probably more so Miami.
More so Miami. Miami needs to win to get into the playoffs. Buffalo needs to win to win.
I think there's some seeding that could fluctuate depending on the Buffalo win versus loss. What are they, number 3 right now? I think if they win, the Steelers lose, they might get number 2.
Which is highly possible. It's not impossible for the Steelers to lose this week. I mean, they lost against the Bengals. They lost against Washington.
Yep.
So it's not like against Cleveland's impossible. So
who's fighting for a playoff spot? But I guess we'll talk about it when we get there.
Might I add, I'm rooting 100% against Miami, especially after how they violated the Raiders last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick, no-look pass on the No-Look podcast. Should that be our next shirt?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty filthy, dude. He had his full chin strap being ripped
That's one
to the
thing
side.
I don't miss about the being in studio is the phone ringing.
Well, I don't know if,
that pickleball we got going on.
We got the pickleball going on in the background.
Yeah, I hope you guys can hear us. Do something in the chat if you can hear us.
He didn't even get us the laptop.
He didn't get us a laptop.
God damn,
I mean,
I'm gonna pull it up.
We're working in chaotic conditions here. But anyways, I do think Ryan Fitzpatrick should start against the Bills, especially after beating the Raiders, coming back, going back and forth with them. That was a heartbreaking loss for the Raiders. Definitely now out of the playoffs. They don't really deserve to be in the playoffs, though. I mean, as a Raiders fan, I feel like I can say that. They just played like shit all year. And they beat good teams this year. They beat the Saints. They beat the Chiefs.
It's like they had good wins. They just had really bad losses.
Really bad losses. The Falcons, they lost 43-6. The Chargers, they lost. They actually should have lost to the Chargers twice. But this isn't the Raiders podcast anymore because I don't feel like talking about them. It's painful to be a Raiders fan just as much as it was painful to be a Nets fan when they got rid of Jason Kidd. But Miami at Buffalo, who you got? At Buffalo, too.
I don't know. Yeah. I, in contrast to you, wouldn't mind seeing the Dolphins make the playoffs. I think they got a good young team. I've always liked their uniforms. With that being said...
Uniforms.
What?
Uniforms. That's the only reason why you like them.
They're cool, man. I don't know. It's different color. Got the teal down there.
Yeah.
The fins. Shout out Mark, actually one of our recurring viewers,
yes.
A big Dolphins fan. So.
Oh, shout out Mark in the chat.
Yeah. But with that being said, I'm going to have to go. Let's go Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia. They've been playing solid. I mean, talk about teams getting hot at the right time. I mean, they put a whooping down on the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Who gave them, some trouble the first matchup. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs playing at a whole nother level. You almost have to put him in that category of, like, obviously Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Drew Brees, and Michael Thomas, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
That was the first one I said.
Of course.
But you almost got to put Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs in that conversation.
I think I'm too low now.
3 touchdowns. I mean, I think at home it's just too much.
Well, not to mention those 3 touchdowns helped me beat Dan in fantasy for the last game of the year, which was impeccable. 32 points.
Wasn't he supposed to do some kind of...
He was supposed to do a wager with me, and I told him to go bald, but he's afraid of... I'll give it to him.
That shit might not grow back.
Yeah, that might not grow back. Let's just not forget behind the counter though. I had to shave my head when LeBron didn't make the playoffs. So, in fairness, I feel like Dan should have to shave his head because he lost to me in fantasy. But I'm also gonna go with the Bills. I think the Bills are too strong for Miami, and also, I mean, a caveat: if Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in against the Bills, I wouldn't be surprised if Fitzpatrick wins with the Dolphins. But that's going to set...
Why would he come in, though?
Because why did they take Tua out against the Raiders? It's just maybe a change of pace. Maybe they don't like the way Tua's playing.
I think he got hurt. But...
No, Tua, they just took him out.
Huh.
Straight up took the dude out for Fitzpatrick, which if there's any guy in the league that you want to be taken out for, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. But we're both going Buffalo. I'll X marks on Buffalo. Next game, actually, I'll save this one for last because I know Austin's going to be very passionate about this one. Next game, Baltimore at Cincinnati. Obviously, not a big game for Cincinnati, but they are playing heartbreakers this season, especially to the Steelers.
They beat the Steelers, threw a wrench in their whole situation. Playing Baltimore, where is that at?
It's in Cincinnati.
Damn.
I mean, Baltimore needs to win. They have to win to make the playoffs.
I'm torn because...
Joe Burrow's not playing, dude.
Well, I know, but Baltimore's been struggling all year. But I feel like right now Lamar Jackson's kind of hitting his stride.
He's back to his MVP ways. For me, I think that's what's going to bring me to going with Baltimore. And I don't even think it's Lamar Jackson so much. I think it's their defense is really going to put a shutter on the Bengals. I think the Bengals are still going to score a lot of points. I feel like they always do for some strange reason, even though they don't have that many crazy weapons.
Who even is their quarterback? Some guy... It's not
some
Kyle
guy named
Allen.
Ryan or something like that.
I thought it was Allen.
I don't know.
There's too many Allens in the NFL. I'm going to go with my instinct here, Tyler, as opposed to my gut, because as much as I want to say Cincinnati's going to play spoiler and ruin the Ravens' playoff hopes, Lamar Jackson, he's getting hot right now, along with Josh Allen, like I said, hot at the right time. I think they get in there in the playoffs, and who knows? They kind of got squashed last year, They weren't the number 1 seed, maybe the number 2. They got beat by the Titans, who kind of came in, and Derrick Henry went beast mode. I don't know if that'll happen again this year, but
perhaps.
I think they get in the playoffs, so I think I'll give them the win this week.
So next game is Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Big game for everybody. Probably one of the biggest games of the week, I would say, for sure. Cleveland needs to win. So does Steelers to get the. They're not going to get the 1 seed, but they're going to solidify the 2 seed,
I believe,
for sure. But Cleveland, coming off a huge loss against the Jets, I mean, regardless of them missing Jarvis Landry, half their team practically.
The whole wide receiver.
Rashad Higgins was out, yeah. I'm going to go with Cleveland in this game.
You are? Okay.
Reason being, they have everybody back, I think. They should at least. But I just don't... Ben Roethlisberger's not starting this week. They announced today that they're going to go with Mason Rudolph. I mean, Mason Rudolph against Myles Garrett, round 2.
Wow.
Here we go. Strap
watch
up.
Out for that,
yeah. Mason Rudolph, watch your head. You're about to look like the guy on Wolfenstein with the hole in his head.
They better mic him up this time. Make sure he wasn't saying anything.
That would be
pretty
smart. Roger Goodell, if you're paying attention, listen. I'm going with Cleveland. In Cleveland, have their guys back. Mason Rudolph. I just think it's going to make the most sense. And I think it's going to make the playoff picture a little bit more fuzzy, which I always like chaos.
Yeah, love chaos. Week 17, kind of the prelude to the playoffs, if you will.
Yes.
But this will be our first game that we go against each other on. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I wasn't privy to the fact that Roethlisberger wasn't playing.
Yeah, he still keeps his answer.
But with that being said, Rudolph's played for them before, and I just think, going back to my formulas, Tyler. Steelers got the experience. Mike Tomlin, one of the, will be a Hall of Fame coach
someday.
The defense is just too good. I don't know. And then you got the Browns on the other side. Even though they are playing better this year, have a good shot at making the playoffs. Baker, he's done his thing. I just don't think they have that experience. I think they choke when it matters the most. I think Baker struggles and puts his whole salary question, into question, see what they want to do with that. But I'm going Steelers with this one.
I'll take the disagreement. I enjoy that. This one, let's just go through the games that we're not going to say much on.
Keep it down over there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a podcast.
Yeah. Grow up. With your Under Armour shorts and your Nike shoes and your Under Armour shirt. You should be bald. Anyways, we'll just go through the game.
The official bet.
I said the bet.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
Where?
In the group chat, the fantasy group chat on Yahoo.
I don't know that it was ever officially made. I know you guys both were down to do some kind of wager, but
Dan never picked us.
Part of the same group chat.
I just think you should go up to. I mean, I came back from 25 points. I should get your head shaved. I had to shave my head because this guy right here didn't make the playoffs.
That was a fair, understood bet.
That was a stupid bet.
But you were wrong.
And I shaved my head.
My head's already half shaved. I got a half.
Oh my God! Everybody has a half-shaved head if they're a guy. Look at Johnny. His is on the top of his head. Anyways.
Shots fired. We got Mark in the chat. Make him bald. We got people that want to see you bald.
They want to see. Hashtag make Dan bald again.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. All right, we'll just go through the games that we're not going to say much on. Just get them out of the way. Minnesota at Detroit. I'm going with Minnesota.
Yeah.
Is
Stafford
guess.
playing?
I don't know. Maybe.
Who cares?
Dalvin Cook's not playing, but I'm still going with Minnesota. Do you agree?
Madison. They got Amir Abdullah. Yeah.
All right.
I'll go with the Vikings on this one.
Even though he hates them.
Shout out
LA
Tom
Chargers. LA Chargers at Kansas City. Kansas City doesn't have Mahomes playing. I'm going Chargers, actually.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sit their whole entire team, essentially.
Chiefs.
They're just going to be ready for... But I know we don't want to talk a lot about this, but don't you think that's a bad idea? Because they're already going to get a bye week. So now you're resting your guys 2 weeks.
Right.
And now they're going to come in cold against, potentially one of the hotter teams off that wild card weekend.
Right.
Maybe.
I could see that where that might kind of hinder them and go against what they're trying to do. But with that being said, if someone gets hurt, that'd be the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You look on the other side of it, well, we should have just, sat them. Whereas,
Right.
yeah, it may harm them more than help them. And, if they have 2 weeks off, but.
It's a Booby Miles situation.
Right.
Why run Booby on 4th down, or 3rd down or whatever it was, out for the game, out for the season.
I tend to agree with you on this matchup, though. Not a lot of Chiefs players going to be playing, suiting up. With at the same time, Justin Herbert still trying to make a case for rookie of the year.
Out.
I think he comes in, has himself a day, and
I don't know if you saw, but he actually broke the passing touchdown record for rookies.
I did, yep.
Yeah, and he didn't even start the first game, and he's gonna start the last game, obviously, but
Yeah.
he didn't even play a full season, if you will. So we both got the Chargers on this. Next game, New York Jets at New England Patriots, and I'm bringing it back. Damn it, the shit pumping game of the week. Everybody's like, well, obviously it's the Jets, Tyler. No, other end of the spectrum. I'm going Jets shit pumping the Patriots.
Wow.
Does this taint Bill Belichick's career? Maybe. Perhaps. Jets are on a, 2-game winning streak? They're
Longest
beating
win
teams out
streak
here.
they've had, I think, since Joe Namath played quarterback.
Perhaps. The Patriots on a skid, obviously. They just got skid marked, if you will, by the Bills. So I'm going not Aaron Donald. Imagine Aaron Donald play quarterback. Sam Darnold.
He probably could. Aaron Donald could do anything.
Sam Darnold, shit pumping the Patriots defense. Bill Belichick, career tainted. Perhaps put him into retirement finally. Who do you got? I think I'm like 0 for 6 on shit pumping games of the week, by the way.
I don't know. I just feel like it'd be.
I can't lose much more if I lose this game.
I feel like that'd be typical Jets fashion. They're on a 2-game win streak. Patriots just got blown out. You want to pick them so bad, but I mean, you got Belichick, Cam Newton.
In Foxborough.
That defense is still decent. It's in Foxborough. I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna go Patriots.
Wow. Despicable. Atlanta at Tampa Bay.
Gotta have some kind of disparity on the
I
show,
guess.
right?
I mean, I can't agree with you always. I'm going Tampa Bay. I'm a homer. I think they're just going to destroy the Falcons this week. Prove a point. I think taking it into the playoffs going to help them. What would they be? 12-4 if they win? I think they would be 12-4, which would be their best record since I think they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I'm going Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this one. Tom Brady, experience.
Perhaps the greatest quarterback of all time.
Falcons suck. Perhaps. There's some other names in there. One guy starts with A, and then another A follows, but...
Aaron.
Aaron.
All right, next game, New Orleans at Carolina. I'm going Saints. Kamara probably going to get shut down this week. I could see it. Or could score 6 more touchdowns. Either or. They're going to win. Drew Brees, I think, is playing.
Shut down as in the
He's
Panthers?
They're going to shut him down. They're going to stack the box.
I don't know if you meant the Saints are going to shut him down, not play him.
Right. Good question. I think, though, that Drew Brees is playing.
Yep.
A lot of these games, I think, are going to help propel these teams further into the playoffs. Kind of like a tune-up game, as you would. But I'm going New Orleans.
Yep. I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Better teams, getting hot at the right time. I don't even know if it matters if Drew Brees plays. I mean, they got Taysom Hill, who...
As long as finger-licking good Jameis doesn't play.
They get the W. Jameis will be on the sidelines. At least he can see the plays now. He's got a good view from the sidelines.
He had 2 stigmatism. Give him a break.
He's got the LASIK eye surgery, but yeah, I'm going Saints.
I'm not even gonna say anything. Las Vegas at Denver. I want to go with the Raiders on this one, but they don't deserve it. But I'm gonna still, because I'm a Raiders fan. So Raiders are gonna win.
I'll flip flop with you on this one.
Of course you would. You fucking.
What? Come on, we can't all agree.
You always, literally, any time that the Raiders come up, you just do the opposite.
I mean, I just think Denver,
Oh my god.
they got a good defense. The Raiders. Who's playing quarterback? Mariota?
Carr?
Even worse. Say less. Broncos by a million.
Oh. By $1 million.
That's my shit pumping game of the week.
That's your shit pumping game of the week. Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Didn't they already shit pump them this year?
The Raiders did. The Raiders beat them.
They're getting their revenge.
Okay. Next game, we'll go with Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Not a huge game by no means, but Indianapolis needs to win in order to get into the playoffs. And luckily for them, they're facing the worst team in the league.
Yep. This is a no-brainer. I mean, Jacksonville, even though I think they already have the number 1 pick locked
solidified.
I mean, they're benching Minshew. I don't know what's going on. James Robinson was one of the best running backs all year. Now he's
been hurt.
Can't even find. Has he been hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Colts, they're a good team. They almost beat the Steelers.
So you think
easy.
this game is not the shit pumping game of the week for you?
No,
I
think the Jaguars go out and make it a game. They at least try.
I could see that, but let's remember this right here. Always going against the Raiders. Glad we're both agreeing though. Indianapolis. Next game, Dallas at New York Giants.
Big game, playoff implications.
The worst big game there is probably in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Has a lot riding on it, but it's probably the 2 worst teams that are in playoff contention in NFL history. I'm going with the Giants, just because I don't like seeing Dallas win. Essentially,
I'm gonna have to go with the Cowboys, but this is gonna be the biggest game that doesn't even matter because, as of right now, they're both potentially have the chance to make the playoffs. If the Washington football team loses, I don't see them losing. So I think everyone's gonna hype this all up. Oh man, the Giants versus the Cowboys, they could potentially be in the playoffs. It's not even gonna matter.
So you're going with the Reds or the Washington football team then?
Yes, I am.
So I'm gonna also go with the Washington football team against Philadelphia in the 8:20 slot on Sunday night.
Prime time.
I think now, regardless of who's at quarterback for Washington, you're still going with them against Jalen Hurts, who, might I add, won you the fantasy football championship.
Thank you, Jalen. You balled out at the right time when I needed you. Dropped 40 against Tyler. Sorry. Came through with 25, just enough last week to get the championship. What was the question? Yeah, no, Chase Young, that defensive front. Who do they have? Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
Right. They're just
Kendall
wreaking
Fuller.
havoc. Just wreaking havoc on the offensive line and quarterbacks, opposing quarterbacks all year. Hopefully Alex Smith plays. I think I might give him a win in the playoffs if Alex Smith plays.
Okay.
They beat the Steelers. They look good. That defense is strong. But, yeah, I think they're going to be too much on the defensive side for the Eagles.
I agree, and I think Washington has one of my favorite defenses, too. Just player-wise, personnel. We'll just go up then. Seattle at San Francisco. I think Seattle's going to absolutely obliterate them. Now, the implication on this one is if Seattle wins and the Packers lose, they would get that second spot due to some tiebreaker you were saying.
Yep. Which I don't even know how it makes sense because I looked at it. Usually goes by conference wins,
Gotcha.
So against NFC opponents, which the Packers are up a game right now. So if the Packers lost, Seahawks win, they'd have the same record for that. So then it goes divisional. I don't know. There's a big cycle there, conundrum. Tyler, I almost spoke this game into existence for the Seahawks to lose. But with that being said, once we get to the Packers game, I don't think they're going to lose. So it doesn't even matter what the Seahawks do, lose or win. I think the Seahawks come in here. They beat the 49ers pretty handily, struggling with injuries all year. The 49ers have been. And yeah, it shouldn't even be close.
So next game, Arizona at LA Rams. The battle of no-name quarterbacks, it's looking like.
Yeah.
Jared Goff out, Kyler Murray potentially out. Or is he already out? They're already saying he's out.
I think they declared the other guy starting.
Chris Streveler, who, if you look him up, this guy is dynamite. He's just a content-creating magnet.
Yeah.
Won the Grey Cup with some Canadian football team. Looks like a guy that makes really good beer, like
it's homebrew
beer, like IPAs. He really likes making IPAs.
Makes it in his basement, nice little microbrew.
Yeah, he makes like microbrews. He likes wearing like sweaters from Gap. His jeans are Levi's, or the same jeans that Brett Favre wears.
Those are Levi's.
Levi's.
Yeah.
So, and likes cutting wood in the backyard, but also can throw down a 6-pack at any time, and brings a 6-pack to every function specifically for himself.
He could probably. Yeah.
And mind you,
guy,
those beers are like 10.5% alcohol per can.
He could probably stack a 6-pack all on top of each other and just shotgun them all at once.
Most likely.
Looks pretty dynamite. A little, Minshew type vibes, I'd say.
For that though, that's the reason why I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Okay.
Chris Streveler gonna bring the Cardinals to the promised land potentially.
So do you think he has a good game, or he just does enough to get the win?
I think he balls out, 400 yards.
Yeah.
I could see him having Fitzpatrick-like numbers.
Okay.
You got DeAndre Hopkins. Christian Kirk had a good game last week.
Yeah.
Kenny Drake out of the backfield. I don't know. I just like this Cardinals team. I think the biggest problem is their defense is sus. They're not. It's going to be tough throwing 400 yards against the Rams, but I think it could be done.
Yeah. So you're picking the Cardinals
in LA.
We were talking about this guy and his
beard,
shotgunning and his whole vibe. Totally forgot who they're playing. Tyler, the Rams, who Aaron Donald does play for.
Jalen Ramsey.
I mean, yeah, I think they just get swallowed up. I mean,
even with the quarterback that the Rams are going to have.
Oh yeah, I mean they got a good enough run game. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp's out.
Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds,
Tyler Higbee.
No, yeah, I think.
Did you know Tyler Higbee's from a town in Florida called Palm Harbor, which is 20 minutes from where I live?
Pretty cool. Know that.
I probably was in the same restaurant as Tyler Higbee at the same time.
Tyler's stat of the day.
Yeah.
Mark checking in the chat. F those cowgirls. All right. So
I agree. Thank you, Mark. I like that. I don't like the Cowboys.
I like them, but I just think they're the better team. I don't know.
Mark, get your man. Next game, Tennessee at Houston. Who you got?
I mean, as much as I want to say Texans are going to play spoiler, I think it's Derrick Henry in these late weeks. I know Tyler's got a little beef with Henry.
Yeah, I got big beef with Henry.
But
if I see you in the streets, you're catching this fade.
Oh.
I like to cut, G.
Whoa. That's what you're going to do to Henry?
Yeah.
Just pull on his little
dreads.
Turd tail.
That'd be the worst thing I could ever do.
Yeah.
That guy could bench press me a million times.
He would pick you up. It'd be like a show. Just pick you up by the fucking back of your collar.
It'd be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Picking me up and just
I don't think they drop back-to-back games. Obviously, they just got routed by the Packers in a snowy Lambeau game. The Titans.
Oof. You hate to see it. I love to see it, honestly. I couldn't have been more happy that the Titans lost to the Packers. I couldn't have been more happy that the Titans got absolutely destroyed by the Packers. If the Titans lose the rest of the season, I'd be the happiest guy on earth.
So I don't even know, though, but if they lose, is there a potential they miss the playoffs? Because I know
if the Colts win.
I know if they lose, the Colts win, then the Colts get the division.
Right.
But so they're all 10-5. So
and if the Ravens
and Browns all win, then
they're gone.
Okay, so there's a potential. Yeah, I don't think they drop back-to-back games
against Houston too.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, he's gonna do all he can.
J.J. Watt with a motivational speech about the fans this week.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Not enough.
I'm going with Titans. I don't like saying it. I just think let's set them up, bring their hopes up to get absolutely destroyed in the playoffs. Yeah. Hopefully. So both going Tennessee on this one. That brings us to our last game of the week. Austin's Green Bay Packers in Chicago, Soldier Field. Soldier Field weather too.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter for Lambeau fans, but I'm gonna let Austin. You can have the floor on this one. I know that you always have. He rambles, if you will, about his Packers. Some would say this is a Packers Raiders podcast, probably the most funky kind of tandem of teams, but
completely random, opposite conferences, divisions.
Not even in the same state we grew up in.
Tyler, I'm gonna ramble on. I don't need to. Right, they're going up against Mitch the Bitch. I don't care if the Chicago is playing at home. I don't care if they're playing on a Pop Warner field or something where there's booby traps to try to stop Aaron Rodgers and slow down the Packers. Listen, they want to get this number 1 seed. They want the NFC to have to run through Lambeau. As you can tell, Tyler, Titans, pretty good team.
Very good.
Going to Lambeau with the snow and those conditions, they just weren't prepared. Packers did a good job stopping Henry in the run, but I digress. I won't get into that game.
A.J. Dillon had a really good game, too.
Yeah, A.J. Dillon, the rookie for the Packers, had a good game. Buck 24, 2 tutties. It's still Aaron Jones' backfield.
Okay.
They got to pay the man in the offseason. Now you just get me on these complete different tangents, and you wonder why I fucking ramble on.
Pay the man.
Packers are going to smoke the Bears. They missed the playoffs. I'm sorry, Brendan. I'm not sorry to the rest of the Bears fans.
Also, get well, Brendan.
Get well soon, big.
But your Bears are going to lose. And it sucks that you have to...
They're going to get smacked up.
It sucks that Brendan has to sit home while the ball drops, but also sit home and watch the Packers absolutely dismantle the Bears. The Bears.
He's gonna watch 2 ball drops from home: the fucking New Year ball drop and Mitch Trubisky fucking fumbling it 20 times.
Yeah. Packers too strong. This will bring us into our next conversation, I think.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is gonna prove this week why he's the MVP over Josh Allen, over Patrick Mahomes. It's not necessarily, Patrick Mahomes has the best record, obviously. Josh Allen has a lot of yards, most improved team, I guess you could say. Derrick Henry has the most rushing yards. But Aaron Rodgers, what's his stats right now? Touchdowns, interceptions? 44 touchdowns?
43 or 44, 5 interceptions.
Just an impeccable ratio right there. You don't normally see that. When someone has 44 passing touchdowns, they typically have a lot higher interceptions. He's playing unreal. Obviously, that goes into the site that Devontae Adams is playing unreal. Aaron Jones is playing great, even though he's been out.
Defense has been good. Zadarius Smith,
which is actually shocking because
Pro Bowl, Jair Alexander.
We were. I remember in an earlier episode we were kind of contemplating whether your defense would still be good without Fackrell and Blake Martinez.
Yeah. I mean the rush defense has been a little suspect. You can definitely see where Martinez has missed. Christian Kirksey's done a good enough job at the middle linebacker position. They moved him to outside linebacker. There's an undrafted free agent guy who's... Anyways, it doesn't matter. Jair Alexander, I'd say top 2, top 3 cornerbacks in the league.
Kevin King's
playing well. I think they didn't have Josh Jackson last week. He plays kind of that slot corner. They got the Smith Bros, Darius Preston. Kenny Clark just got paid, and he's balling like it. Rashawn Gary.
Who's out of Michigan. That was the rookie they drafted, right?
Yep. Playing well. Just overall, too good.
So, also went on a little bit of tangent about their defense, but I'm going to bring it back. Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to go MVP 2020. I think this game against the Bears is going to prove it. He's going to solidify his stats a little bit more. Over under 49.5 touchdowns to finish the season.
I'd say under.
I'm going over. I want to see Aaron Rodgers I want to see him drop a 50 burger this year.
That'd be crazy. I mean, he's the only. So there have been now 3 instances, unless he throws 5 interceptions, of a quarterback throwing for, I think it's 40 plus touchdowns and 10 or fewer interceptions. 3 instances, they've all been Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's playing in a league of his own. As much as it will be at some point, and maybe you're starting to see it develop into that of being Patrick Mahomes' league, Rodgers is showing he's still here, and he's still playing at a high level. Mahomes and the Chiefs, they were who you thought they were.
Right.
Last year, the Packers, as Tyler, lost in the NFC Championship game.
I know.
I tried to drink myself to forget that, but Rodgers is saying, I'm still here, right? Maybe a little bit of revenge against the Packers front office after drafting Jordan Love, putting up having a career year, putting up stats. So, yes, I agree. Tyler and I are on the same page. Aaron Rodgers should be the NFL
unanimous.
MVP. It won't be unanimous. I think it's a no-brainer, but...
I think it's a no-brainer, too. Yeah, I mean, this week in NFL is going to be a crazy week. No fantasy implications, obviously, because it's over, but... definitely a good week to watch some football, sit down watching Red Zone for the last time this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, last time.
Red Zone,
it's going to be the last Red Zone and the first of the year. So,
right.
that's all for NFL today. There is somebody's birthday today, though. And
who's that?
Happens to be this guy right here, LBJ. LeBron.
Happy birthday.
LeBron, happy birthday, even though, like you cut G. Turning 36. Do you have a favorite LeBron moment?
Yeah, I do actually. Now that it's crazy how you asked that, and I didn't really have one in my head prepared. But when I think of LeBron moments, for me, it's a young LeBron in Cleveland. That was the Eastern Conference Finals, right, against the Magic when he hit that buzzer beater.
They were wearing the blue jerseys. It was like a bank shot, right?
No, I think they were wearing their white jerseys. But yeah, it was like half court, turns around, just drains it at the buzzer. Just to see the excitement, exuberance on his face, they were going crazy. And yeah, just what he did with that bad of a team, really, back in the day.
I mean, the second best player was Zinguru Nogalaskis, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite moment is off the court. LeBron James Nike commercials.
Yep.
When he had like the old guy, he would dress up as the old LeBron James, and or the Sprite commercials were fire too. I think his best moment is still coming up though. When his son gets drafted, LeBron's gonna go where his son goes. It's obviously written in the stars.
Yep.
I just want to see LeBron get alley-oop either thrown to him or thrown by him to his son. What's his son's name again?
Bronny Jr.
Bronny Jr.
Yeah.
Bron to Bron.
Bron to Bron. Is there... I'm trying to think. The only one I can think of... Okay, two baseball son...
Griffey.
Father-son duos. Griffey and Griffey Jr. I believe Cal Ripken Jr. maybe played on the same team. Or at least were in the league at the same time.
And that's talking baseball.
That's talking baseball. But, I mean, it has to be the first NBA
Well, Dale
duo.
Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah. Definitely no football.
No.
That'd be crazy.
Definitely no football. And Steph Curry and Del Curry, no, they weren't even close.
No. He was a baby when he was on the Hornets.
I think this would be the first. But it makes sense, though, because LeBron came out of high school. Bronny Jr. is potentially going to come out of high school, too, because they're probably going to change it by that time they're predicting.
The LeBron rule.
Yeah, the LeBron rule. Where it makes sense where it could happen. College, it doesn't really make sense because you have to do at least 3 years in football. Or for football, you have to do 3 years of college. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the most incredible thing. Watching two father-son duo.
Imagine to get like a picture like the Dwayne Wade alley-oop to LeBron, and he's just like running off. He's like with his son. That'd be crazy.
Probably. Yeah, would be the most insane thing. I don't like LeBron by any means in terms of like being a huge fan. I mean, I respect him. I think people are gonna understand his greatness in the future when he's gone. I think he's changed the league. I think he's transcended the league. Going to be one of the best to ever go down behind Michael Jordan. Probably he might even win 6.
Yeah, I think there's a good shot at that. I mean, they got better this year. You see Schroeder,
Montrezl Harrell
coming in. They look.
They got Marcus Gasol, who was a all-star every single year.
Which you see that picture where it was like LeBron and Marcus Gasol
and
put
Kobe
up next
and
to
Powell.
Kobe and Powell.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Do you think that's a cool comparison? I was reading the comments. A lot of people were like, "Oh, don't compare LeBron to Kobe." Blah blah blah.
Well, it's not fair because LeBron and Marcus Gasol. LeBron's still in his prime. Marcus Gasol not so much. But Powell and Kobe played together in their primes. So obviously, like statistically, it's not a fair comparison. But I think it's still pretty awesome that you have that comparison.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool side by side, at least from the aesthetics of it. The picture.
And they were wearing their Laker blue jerseys, which are honestly one of my favorite jerseys of all time.
Those are clean.
When Kobe wore the white and blue one and the blue and white one, as number 8 Kobe, that was like one of my favorite jerseys. I really wish I got one growing up. I remember one time I was very close to asking it for Christmas. I'm sure Big Tim would have bought it in a second if I asked for a Kobe jersey, but that is probably one of my favorite jerseys now that I'm thinking about it.
Those the Snoop Dogg Crip jerseys that they got out in LA.
The powder ones, like the powder blues, yeah. It's like the Charger uniforms a little bit. Do you have a favorite jersey? I mean, I'd also
basketball or.
I mean, yeah, in general. If you have one in general, I mean,
not really.
The AI ones back in the day, the black.
I always like the Houston Oilers jerseys.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool throwback. Yeah, not really. I like a lot of them. Old school Hawks are cool.
The old school Raptors.
Raptors.
That one's
dope.
The
Grizzlies.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shadur Abdul-Rahim or whatever his name is. I would have gotten that jersey. Or Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby. Ooh. By the way, Mike Bibby, I don't know if you've seen him lately, but that dude is yoked.
Fucking cut up, bro.
Yeah.
He's coaches high school basketball, right?
Yeah, you could tell he's got the little microblading needles in his hair because he's always got the hardest freaking cut in the game. But the dude has bigger biceps than his head, so.
Swole AF, Mike Bibby. I would not want to run into him.
No. Probably wouldn't want to get into an argument with him if I was playing basketball either.
If I was like a high school
He
referee.
probably plays with the kids. Like, imagine taking a charge from Mike Bibby. My head would fall off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Anyways, 2020 is coming to an end, obviously. 2 days left if you include today. Are you ready to bring back Wheezy's yearly?
Wheezy's, what was traditionally Wheezy's weekly winners, but now at the closing of 2020, Tyler, I said, why not just do a whole yearly winner list? So here we go. We got Wheezy's yearly winners. Number one, kind of fitting that we were just talking about on the Lakers. Went out there, got the chip in honor of Kobe. Rest in peace. Which I still am not convinced that there's not, an asterisk next to that championship of it not really being a full season in the bubble. Anyways, I digress.
I disagree.
Agree to disagree. But Lakers, they are my yearly winners. Another yearly winner, I have delivery drivers, right? Everybody's locked up. There's a strict quarantine for a little while. Obviously now we have Uber Eats, DoorDash, what have you, traditional delivery drivers with the guy, I think of Toy Story, right?
The
the
rocket
delivery,
pizza?
Yeah. And he opens the door, kicks out all the cans, whatnot.
If some guy came to me delivering me anything in a rocket pizza delivery, I would tip him $100.
Yeah, that'd be fire. Another one which Tyler helped me out with this, Zoom, right? A lot of stuff being remote, work, school, a lot of meetings happening over Zoom, some even holiday gatherings. Tyler was talking earlier, you went to 2 weddings on Zoom this year.
Most weddings I've ever been to.
So Zoom is on there.
And I didn't even have to dress up. I was telling Austin, one time I was literally in the middle of the ocean in Florida, and I forgot my cousin had a wedding. I got a text from my mom saying, actually it was like my mom, my cousin, I got like a bunch of texts. It's like, hey, you're going to join your cousin's wedding? I was like, oh shit.
Did you at least put a shirt on?
I don't think I did. I also not sure they could see me, but I was hammered. I had at least 6 to 8 White Claws in my system with a few tequila shots in the middle of the ocean, sun beating down on me.
That'll do it.
Maybe joined in for 5 seconds of the Zoom call, and I was like, I'm good.
Tyler's got the fucking back camera on. Hello!
Yeah.
He's yelling over the whole thing.
I think they muted everybody.
Smart.
I turned it all the way down because we were playing music on the boat. But I was like, I really hope they can't hear me because got people swearing. I don't want to ruin the wedding.
Nice fucking wedding. So Zoom is on there. And number 4, last but not least, I have the Insane Games TV channel. As you can tell, Tyler made a lot of strides over the past year from the old store, filming it in there, to the quality. Obviously we did a lot of remote. Tyler got a camera. I got a new camera. Dan got a new camera. We got lights in here. Tyler almost tripped over it.
I got a ring light too.
Camera. I got a ring light. And how many square feet?
9,000 square feet.
9,000 square feet in the new office.
Got a pickleball area. Got eating area. Me and Austin ate Chipotle here before.
Cafeteria, and Dan has the fridge and the shelves stocked. With snacks and beverages.
The most snacks I've seen. You look at any vending machine now in Wilton Mall right now. It's not even close to as stocked as this.
No. That was the first fruit gusher I've seen in probably 5 years that Tyler ate.
I've eaten more calories.
After he ate Doritos, after he ate
after
Swedish fish, and then
Doritos.
Chipotle was first.
Then Gushers.
I'm disappointed. I bought a lot of chocolate for Tyler.
No chocolate for me. I probably
eat chocolate guy.
I probably eat more calories than I got. As Austin says, protein flowing out of my ears. after the avocado shake with banana I had today.
I was out of frozen strawberries and yogurt. I tried to be a good host. God damn it.
His eggs were fire.
Eggs were good, luckily.
And then he burned his own eggs. But that's neither here nor there.
We had ourselves a morning.
Yes, that's a good yearly winner list. I mean, the only other thing that I would potentially add to it is free money in terms of stimulus checks.
Yeah, it would have been better if we got the 2,000. God damn it.
Fuck you, Mitch McConnell. I'm not going to make a political statement.
I don't even know who you are, but I want $2,000.
I wanted $2,000. Now I'm going to have to settle for $6,000. I guess that's okay.
Better than nothing, I'll say, but $2,000 would have went, for people who are unemployed especially.
That would have been real nice. I think it should have happened. Like I said, not going to make a political statement, but if there's anything
do politics here on No Look.
Right. If there's anything that 2020 has brought, clarity.
Yeah.
What we want, what we're going to strive for, stuff like that.
Just one giant year of post-nut clarity. I mean, sitting there like, damn, man, just thinking about your whole life flash before your eyes.
I changed jobs. Austin's changing jobs in the middle of it. Started a clothing company. We streamed a lot of shit.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
Dan changed locations for the store. So 2020 equals ultimate post-nut clarity.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Try to look at the glass half full, if you will. Have some optimism.
Shout out Dana one time.
Shout out Dana one time. We gotta do our weekly Dana shout outs.
Oh yeah. Haven't shout out Dana in a while, but
No.
I've never seen you, nor will I ever be one of your clients probably, but shout out Dana.
Shout out Dana.
In the year of post-nut clarity, we end the No Look podcast in 2020, and we'll see you in 2021. Anything else?
No. Smoke. Disappear.
Wheezy out.